Hey, Algebra 1 kids, this is Dr. Callahan with Week 10 Tuesday. How are you guys doing? You should have your brand new warm-up log now, so go ahead and pause the video and answer the following questions. Okay, let's go ahead and add your assignment for today. Just so a friendly reminder that in order to be marked present here, you have to literally view the assignment. So make sure you do that because when I generally take an assignment, I just go to assignment roster, and if you have not viewed it, then I mark you absent. So it's really, really in your best interest to make sure you view the assignment so that way I don't have to keep track of where you are. So this is week 10, Tuesday, Algebra 1, Semester 2. And today we are going to talk about solving using squares and square roots. Your instruction as normal is to go ahead and view the lesson today. Check in with me by the end of first period, which is 8:40 a.m. Upload your assignment, and it's due by 3 p.m. Tuesday. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started with today's stuff. So take a look at your guided notes today, which is on week 10 Tuesday. This is going to be your first page. And our notes going to be here. We're going to go over 3 different examples, and I'm going to have you guys try 3 different examples on your own. And then you guys have some practice. One is a algebra puzzle. One is a duplicate key like a small cake. Next one, I have some more algebra puzzles for you guys to practice on. And lastly, if you need some additional examples to read or whatnot, I do have them right here. So feel free to read them with the steps and answers. All right, with that said, let's go ahead and get started on this then. We're going to start off right here. Okay, it's taking a long time to download. There you go. So here is the first thing. Now remember, opposite of a square root is a square, the square right here, and opposite of a square like this is a square root. So here's your first example. Okay, so copy this one down under example 1. X squared equals 9, square root of x equals 9. All right, so you have 2 different examples under example 1. First thing to do is, how do you get rid of a square? Well, you have to square root both sides. How do you get rid of a square root? You will have to square both sides. So your answer here is actually going to be x is equal to plus or minus 3 for the first one. For the second one, opposite of a square root is a square. And when you square the 9, 9 times 9 is 81, and you have 1 answer versus 2 answer. So those are the 2 differences there. Next, you're going to try this one on your own. So here I have 4. You can pick any 2 of your choice for you tries. All right, let me show you guys the answer for them. Okay, now let's go on to example number 2. For example number 2, you have 2 square root x plus 3 equals 10. So my goal here is to get x by itself. So first thing I want to do is I want to get rid of that 2. So with opposite of a times 2, you are going to divide it. 10 divided by 2 is going to give you a 5. And then you want to get rid of the square root. So opposite of a square is not a circle. It's a square root is a square. So you're going to square both sides. Then the square root and the square cancels. 5 times 5 is 25. And your last step is how to get rid of the positive 3, which is a minus 3. So your answer here is just 22. Okay, so now that you've done example 2, let's have you try one on your own. So you give this one a try. The steps are as follows. Add the 5, divided by the 3, square it, minus 4, divided by the 2. So pause the video and give that a try. All right, so let's get rid of that 5 first. So add the 5 on both sides. 13 plus 5 is 18. Step 2, divided by 3. 18 divided by 3 is going to give you a 6. And of course, your 3 cancels just like your 5. Then, how do you get rid of the square root? You're going to square both sides. So your square root and your square cancels. So 6 times 6 is 36. Step 4, subtract the 4 on both sides. That part cancels. Bring down the 2x. 36 minus 4 is going to give you a 32. And lastly, divide by 2. So 32 divided by 2 is going to give you a 16. And that is your answer, you guys. All right, example 3. So for example 3, you're going to create your own example using square roots and squares. So this is how you're going to set it up. Write down square root, 2x minus, you can come up with an odd number, any number you want, and then you put an even number in front of it. So once you create it, go ahead and solve it. So if I were to create this, I'm just going to put 2x minus 3 equals negative 12 with a 4 in the front. And this is just mine. Yours probably look a little bit different than mine. That's totally fine. All right, so for me to solve for this one, first thing what I would do is I would divide everything by 4. So that part cancels, and I have a square root of 2x minus 3 equals negative 3. Then I will want to get rid of the square root, so I will square it. So then my square root and square cancels. 2x minus 3 equals 9. How to get rid of a minus 3? You want to add it. So let's add the 3 on both sides. That part cancels. 2x is equal to 12. So lastly, divided by 12, x equals 6. And that is your answer. All right, so next, this is your you try. Go ahead and copy this part down. Now, this one requires a little bit of work because if you try to square this, notice the x squared and the square cancels. Square root and the square cancels, and you have 2x plus 3 equals x squared. Well, that's a little bit different. So I'm going to move everything over to the right side. So you have 0 equals x squared minus 2x minus 3. Now you have to create the table, okay? And you're going to ask yourself, what times what gives me a negative 3? But when I add it together, it gives me a negative 2. If you think about it, you could do a negative 1, 3, positive 1, negative 3, and guess what? Only those numbers work. So your answer, your temporary answer is x plus 1 equals 0, and then x minus 3 equals 0. Set them both equal to 0 and solve for them. X equals negative 1 as your first answer. X equals 3 is your second answer. All right, you guys, now that we have practiced with 6 different examples, I would like you guys to go ahead and turn over to this part and start practicing with this. So why is a duplicate key like a small cake? And of course, I'm going to show you guys the answer. So pause the video if you're not ready for it. Here are your answers. It is a Twinkie. Get it? A Twinkie? Haha. All right, you guys, if you are done with that, next what I would like you guys to do is go ahead and read the additional examples on the last page of week 10, Tuesday. It's getting there. It's taking a little bit of time. So there are 4 different examples. Go ahead and read it and look and analyze the steps. And when you're done with that, you have two different extra credit assignments. You can either pick what is an advantage of having a nuclear physics, and the next one is moving words. So you can go ahead and pick either the left one or the right one, and they're both very similar. All right, you guys, as always, I hope you guys have a wonderful week, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care.